Okay, I believe we're back. So I'll be getting my calculator ready. And, all right, so once again, there are 25 nouns, 25 verbs, and 25 adjectives. So I'm going to get my face where I can see it again and clear the slate. All right, so we will start off with the first new noun, and that is 17, and that happens to be a canon. The second number is 1, which is sit, and the third number is 15, which is giggly. Okay, so that's an interesting combination. We have a giggly canon that is sitting. So there's a lot of things that could happen. There could be a man named Giggly, but I'm going to assume this is the adjective itself. So this would mean that the canon is giggly. So what might happen? I'm trying to think of relations between something that is giggly and something that is a cannon. Cannons tend to explode, firing projectiles, and what can happen is if you're eating and you are giggly, then you may prematurely fire that food from your mouth. We may be able to work with that. The cannon is also sitting, so perhaps the cannon is not in use currently, and the cannon is has seen something hilarious and it begins firing randomly. So we have to first draw our cannon here, and so we have the barrel, and it will go in a little bit, but then extend because the blast chamber itself needs to be sufficiently thick. There could be some sort of interpolator used to describe the width of the cast iron. Oh, probably not cast iron. I would imagine there's a stronger alloy being used here. But we have our wheel here. And I'm going to imagine this is somewhat of a colonial cannon, perhaps. A lot of these cannons would have long handles in the back here that would be the director. So people can grab these, pick them up. You know how levers work. They make the load a little bit easier. With the fulcrum here at the wheel, then this is going to be a spoked wheel because spoked wheels are efficient in their use of lumber, but they get the job done very well, and they actually spread the load of the weight here fairly evenly across this whole wheel. So we have our cannon. There's going to be some point where the actual fuse will be inserted, but this cannon is going to be giggly, so we need to find a reason that this cannon is giggly. I don't know if anyone has any suggestions. I did see a comment that was asking, aren't all cannons sitting? Well, first off, we have to define what sitting is. Perhaps cannons can be rolling, which I would assume is not sitting, although you can be rolling in a car and you would be sitting. But the cannons do not necessarily have a chair. They are in a chariot of sorts, and in a chariot you do usually stand. And there also are people standing around the cannon. But perhaps we can think of some other reason to involve the word sitting. So maybe it's not the cannon itself that's sitting. Maybe the reason that the cannon is giggly is because someone else is sitting. Perhaps the person that would normally be manning the cannon has slipped into a unfortunate puddle of mud over here, and so we have that, which apparently I am bad at closing things, but we can assume that this is mud. I will just point at it. Mud. And perhaps after we finish the drawing, I'll add a little bit more texture to it. So we'll have our person that has fallen down in the mud, and they will then, from the rest of the battle onwards, look as if they have gone to the restroom in their pants, although I would imagine some of the others in the battlefield would have already done so. So I'm trying to picture the garnishing of a cannoneer in the colonial era. I would imagine he has some sort of long sleeve shirt just for protection from the sun, but we can have a surprisingly large-headed man here with his trifold. And he will not be too happy about this. I'm receiving a lot of text messages. I'm hoping they are not about the stream. They are not. Okay. So we have this man here. He has sat down, or he has perhaps tripped into this mud puddle. To be honest, at the moment he looks more like a navyman, which is interesting. But perhaps this is causing some sort of animosity between the cannoneers and the actual navyman that has joined the fight. He's trying to play his part in the battle, but he can only cause more troubles as he is a clumsy person. So we have this man has fallen and he has soiled his garments, and the cannon itself is becoming quite giggly. So it won't be saying ha, it will be saying he. That's what happens when you giggle. You go hee hee, hee hee. And then this will somehow cause some sort of chain reaction, creating a spark on the fuse, and this will go further in this direction. Obviously, the cannon man have already loaded this cannon, and in an attempt to fire this, the man has fallen into this pit of pit of mud. A lava pit on a colonial battlefield would be a very interesting landmark. I don't think that a lot of people would be trying to protect that, but I don't know. So this man has fallen into a mud pit. We can garnish this a little bit with our handy airbrush, and so we know that this is mud, even though I have already done part of the job by pointing to it. But so we have this cannon here. It's giggling. Perhaps it's actually shaking, and this could cause some problems, because if the cannon were shaking, there could become an over use of stress in the pin here holding the cannon in place, causing the cannon to rotate in a clockwise manner. This would also become problematic if the cannon has, as it is in this picture, been previously lit and loaded, because if the cannon moves to a less favorable position, then the theoretical cannonball, which I will now draw in bright green, would be moving at high velocity from point blank range in this direction that is now orange. And so obviously the cannon, with a rather large mass and a rather large velocity, would create a lot of energy, and this energy would dissipate throughout the human body into the joints and various regions of the sailor, causing him to be slightly more sad than he is already, and eventually growing a Asian-style mustache. So I think this is a pretty complete picture. I hope you agree with me. But I want to thank you guys for watching the stream. I'm not sure how much longer I will be streaming from this specific position before I'm moving into the other room. But I will be rewatching parts of the stream just to make sure that the sound quality is up to par and everything. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm hoping, now that I have a lot of free time, that I'll be able to get some progress done on the actual data mining project and have something for you on Wednesday. So we'll look forward to that, and I will be seeing you on Wednesday. But like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching.